Okay, yes, I hear their sound. I hear the muffling. So I didn't put the rubber band on just yet because what I actually want to do is I want to practice. I completely forgot this thing has a move to heal itself. I'm not really worried about failing, shiny Yveltal. I've caught it shiny twice before, but off chance I do fail it, well, it's not a big deal. Because remember, it is still just code in a digital game. It's not the end of the world. So I'm kind of thinking that, what if I use Greninja and I use Night Slash? Now, yes, Night Slash does have a chance for a critical hit. Or what about Aerial Ace? A non-stab. I think Aerial Ace might be the way to go, because it's non-stab, it's not super effective, it's not very effective. And Oblivion Wing doesn't attack us that much. Yeah, this is why I don't use False Swipe. This is why I don't bother with False Swipe. So I think that's my method. And I do not remember what my method was before. My method is always first turn paralyzed with Blissey and then have something to lower its HP. Roto catch and then, chuck Pokeballs. Okay, I need to put the rubber band back on. Give me just a second. So I think that's my plan. That's going to be my plan. Have Greninja use Aerial Ace to weaken it. Tank the Oblivion Wings, and then whenever it heals itself with Oblivion Wing, well, just throw another Aerial Ace. For now, that's my plan. Hold on, just putting on the rubber band. There we go. Oh, what now? See, what I didn't want to do was practice off-screen, practice on my own. Not even for one encounter, just in case the shiny shows up. I mean, it's not impossible, right? I mean, look how fast we got Xerneas before. Which, speaking of Xerneas, if we don't get shiny Yveltal today, then officially this hunt with shiny charm has taken longer than the hunt without shiny charm. Oh, whoops. So a couple things to talk about today, but first of all, oops, I didn't mute myself once again. There we go. So yeah, a couple things to talk about today, but before I talk about all that stuff, yesterday night was the Game Awards. I'll be honest, not too many games announced were very exciting to me. That's because most of the games announced, like the franchises, I haven't really played before. I will say, however, that I was not expecting us to open off with a new Ninja Gaiden game. It's been a long time since I heard anything new from the Ninja Gaiden series. I was a little disappointed to see that it was going to be a little, like a 2D side-scroller platformer. You know, I've kind of waited years for a brand new Ninja Gaiden game. I only ever played one on the DS. But I'm still curious about the franchise, even though I haven't really played any game but one. And I haven't really heard anything from the series for like a decade now. So I was excited to see, a brand new Ninja Gaiden game, and then it was just a 2D platformer. I don't know, in a way 2D platformers kind of don't interest me as much anymore these days. Unless the game... well, obviously, unless the game does. Unless I'm actually interested in the game. So, I completely forgot that last night's Game Awards was the 10th anniversary for the Game Awards. I don't remember what year I started watching it in. I know I was there, I wasn't present. I was watching in 2017 when Breath of the Wild got Game of the Year. I don't remember if I was watching before. Maybe I was. Maybe 2016 was when I started. I don't remember. Some other things to mention about the Game Awards. Sydney Goodman is beautiful as ever. Mystic 7 is one lucky man. So, something I didn't expect was a almost kind of horror-ish kind of Pac-Man game. It's based on the Secret Level, like the show that's upcoming, that has a Pac-Man episode that really doesn't relate to Pac-Man whatsoever. I guess I'm kind of interested in that game. A little bit, yeah. I might give it a try. That new Pac-Man horror game. I might give that a try. What was it called? Shadow Labyrinth? I think that's what it was called. Did that even come out yet? When did Secret Level come out? Oh, it did. Oh, Secret Level's out. Well, that's a weird release. Episodes 1 to 8 released 3 days ago, and then episodes 9 and 10 are gonna release on the 17th. That's a weird release schedule. Ugh. Release 8 episodes at once, and then a week for 2 more. That's weird. Oh, look at this! I see there's 15 animated standalone short stories. So there's 15 episodes. And the first 8 already are out. Huh? So I see episodes, let's see. Episode 1 is Dungeons and Dragons. Episode 2 is Sifu. Episode 3... New World, The Once and Future King. I'm not sure what game that's based off of. Episode 4, Unreal Tournament, Zan. I'm not too sure which game that references to. Episode 5, Warhammer 40,000, and they shall know no fear. Episode 6, Pac-Man Circle. Episode 7, Crossfire, Good Conflict. Episode 8, Armored Core, Asset Management. I see episode 10 is Mega Man Start. Yeah, I'll check out the show at some point. And by the way, episode 9, The Outer Worlds, The Company We Keep. Those are the titles for the episodes. So, yeah, last night, Astrobot won Game of the Year. In my opinion, from what I've heard, because I haven't played either game, in my opinion, either Astrobot or Black Myth Wukong were going to be Game of the Year. I don't know. I didn't play either. Black Myth Wukong just didn't really interest me that much. At least based on like concept alone. I don't know. I didn't really see much gameplay footage. And I haven't played Astrobot because I don't have a PS5. I can't play it anyways. Oh yeah, Queso also did indeed win Content Creator of the Year. I saw him pop off on his Twitch stream, or at least I saw the aftermath. I didn't see his initial reaction to being the winning nominee. What else happened last night on the Game Awards? You know, we saw certain individuals show up. I did not expect Harrison Ford to show up. And I also didn't expect something to come out of Squid Game during the Game Awards. So, let's see. Yeah, Game Awards. There were a couple games. I don't remember exactly which ones off the top of my head, like what their names were, what the names of the franchises were. From what I heard, a couple of game franchises that have been dead for decades suddenly got, game announcements. Suddenly got new games announced. What was it? Shadow Fighter? What was it called again? That fighting game? Okay, so I just pulled up a list by GameSpot. Yeah, Shadow Labyrinth, that's the Pac-Man game. Oh yeah, they did also announce Witcher 4. I haven't played any Witcher games. At some point I would like to, though. Elden Ring, Night Rain. I've never played an Elden Ring game before. Fake gamer, I know. I have a lot of big name games that I just haven't gotten around to play. They also announced a new Shadow of the Colossus kind of game. I still haven't played those either. Borderlands 4, never played any games, never saw the movie, thank God for that one. Virtua Fighter, that's what it was called. Yeah. I don't think I really heard of Virtua Fighter before last night. I may have heard it a decade ago, I don't remember though. His name sounds somewhat familiar. Warframe, never played it. We got a 5-second tease for a new Sonic racing game. It's called Crossworld, so I wonder, could we get some non-Sega characters? You never know. I got a text someone was excited for Mafia: The Old Century. I'm just I don't know what this is. He's just you never played a Mafia game before? I'm nope. Sorry. Well, that's all the ones that stuck out to me. Obviously, I didn't list out all the new games announced here. Oh yeah, I also got a haircut today. As much as I did not want one, I can't grow out my hair to save my life. My family universally hates me having long hair. And I've discussed this before. I prefer having longer hair. Even if it makes me look bad. What do I care anymore? You can't set the bar very low, as it... You can't... You know, the bar can't get very low from what it already is. So, I like having longer hair. In my opinion, longer hair is just easier to handle. Easier to maintain. Because I don't have to really do anything. It all just comes down. Short hair, I gotta worry about bedhead. I gotta worry about pushing it up, styling it. Ugh, what a pain. And I do not use hair gel, even though that honestly would just make me look better, right? As much as you know, whatever helps, you know what I mean? I don't use hair gel, because that would basically guarantee I have to wash my hair every single day. If I used hair gel, I would need to wash my hair every night before bed to get the hair gel out. And then in the morning, if my hair isn't all messy from, you know, bedhead, if it is, then I would need to wash my hair again. So if I use hair gel, I might need to wash my hair 2 times a day. Man, at that point, I may as well just shave everything off. Just save everyone the hassle. And you know, speaking of washing multiple times a day, every time I get a haircut, I just have to wash my hair multiple times a day. Because you guys should keep this in mind, my dad cuts my hair for me. So, because my dad cuts my hair for me, it becomes like the pressure to always cut my hair is even stronger. Because, you know, I don't have to pay to get a haircut. Never once in my life have I had to. Because my dad always cut it. So, you know, had I not have my father cut my hair, then maybe my family would be like, you maybe let your hair grow out a little bit more because we want to save the money. Right? But because my dad cuts my hair, it's always like, son, your hair is medium length. Come cut it. It's getting a little bit too long for all of our liking. Let's cut it. So yeah, so the reason I need to wash my hair multiple times every time I get a haircut, if I don't already wash my hair in the morning before work, then, you know, my dad doesn't really want to touch a greasy head to cut hair. And, you know, that's the case for just cutting hair in general. Hair is easier cut when it is not greasy, when it is clean, and sometimes wet as well. So, if I didn't already wash my hair in the morning, then my dad would rinse it, shampoo it before cutting, and then I would need to wash my hair at night before bed, just in case of any, you know, loose shrapnels of hair are left over. Now, obviously, when my dad cuts my hair, he does rinse it, but I don't trust it. I just need to do it myself again to fully make sure, yes, that every last bit of hair is gone. Now, the reason that I even had to get a haircut today is because today is Friday. On Monday, so on Monday, my family and I, we are going to this, like, dinner party event. And, well, my parents don't want an embarrassing looking son. So they told me to get a haircut. And, you know, I'll admit, I didn't look very good to begin with. And then when you add on top the fact that me having the hair that I had for the past few weeks. Like I said, when my hair gets longer, I don't do anything with it. It just all droops down because it's just easier to handle. You want to know who I look like with the hairstyle I had the past few weeks? The bowl haircut I had? And I didn't realize this until, like, yesterday, who I realized I look like with my hair. I kind of looked like Chie Satonaka. I kind of had Chie's hair. I say kinda. I absolutely had Chie's hair, and I was rocking it for weeks now. Do I care? No, not really. I have no reason to look good for any purpose at this moment. It's not like I look good to begin with. So I did get a haircut today. And I've said before that my hair is thinning at a rapid rate. I have very little hair left on top of my head. So while I still have a semi-full head of hair, I would like to, you know, grow out my hair while I have the chance before I'm bald by my 30s. You know, the universe just gave me a middle finger earlier today. Because after I cut my hair, I was just walking, and then I was just passing two NPCs, two ladies, and one of them just shouted out loud, "This is why he's almost bald!" I'm just like, ugh. Dip my head down in shame. It's like, really? Really? Of all the coincidental timings, that had to happen? Well, it's not like I haven't accepted that I will never have kids one day. You know, as if being short and fat wasn't enough, when you factor in bald as well, it's like, well, I will absolutely be dying alone in this lifetime, in this world. Anyways, about me. Enough about me. So, I do have a couple things to talk about today. I did not get a chance to watch episode 3 of Creature Commandos just yet. Just because I saw it wasn't available online illegally yet. So I wasn't able to watch it yet. So I'll have to watch it for next time. Instead... whoa, my fingers were way in the screen there. Instead, I did indeed watch episode 2 of The Boys, as well as episode 2 of season 2 of Oshinoko. So I'll talk about both of those in due time. But first, while I wait for an absolute saint of a human being I call my friend, who recommended From to me, to, you know, get off work and show up here so I can talk about those episodes and he can hear it. Before that happens, let me talk about a movie I watched yesterday that he won't ever watch. So before he's here, let me talk about it. So yesterday, I watched Venom: The Last Dance. A couple days ago, or even yesterday morning, I forget, I got curious and looked up, when does Venom 3 come out on digital? And then I find out, as of the time of me... No, that would have been yesterday. So yeah, I looked it up yesterday morning, and then I saw, as of yesterday morning, it came out on digital 2 days ago. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm at home today, I have time, let me watch it. So I did. And I want to talk about the movie. So while we wait for that friend of mine to show up, let's talk about Venom: The Last Dance. I did not go to the theater to watch it. And I don't think I'll be going to see Kraven the Hunter in theaters also. So, from the looks of the trailers, it looks like they were almost about to retcon the ending to Spider-Man No Way Home, where where Eddie and Venom are in the MCU, in the 616 timeline, and then Venom left a little drop of himself behind. Because of the trailers, it looks like they were gonna retcon that. When I was watching it, I thought, like, okay, they're retconning this. But then I realized, wait, no. No, they're not retconning it. They're just doing something very stupid to make it look like it's being retconned, and then, you know, confusing audiences, confusing casual audiences as well. But they're not retconning it. So it's also revealed that Venom 3 is a year after Venom 1. So it's only been a year in universe since the first Venom movie took place. And I forget exactly what year the first Venom movie should take place in. I forget if it's like 2018 or 2019. I think it might be 2019. So that would make this movie like in the 2019-2020 year. What's interesting to think is, like, Venom absolutely, like, Eddie and Venom were absolutely sent to the future for No Way Home. Not only were they pulled from a different universe, they were also pulled into the future. Because all the other villains were pulled into the future. So, you know, unnamed bartender who we saw in, No Way Home, his variant, his, what was it, 688? His Universe 688 variant works at the exact same place. And he worked at the exact same place, like, 4 to 5 years in the past. So let's see. So we get another angle from when Eddie and Venom were in the MCU, talking about this purple alien who loves stones. And then they kind of retconned how he came back to his universe. Like in the No Way Home post-credit scene, we saw the Doctor Strange light magic just teleport him back. But in the beginning of this movie, it looks like a portal opened up, and then he, got pulled in. Whatever. So now, Eddie is back. In his universe. And then when he gets back, he and, well, actually more so Venom, drunkenly makes a cocktail for himself, a margarita or whatever, and then, the news is reporting that Eddie is still a wanted fugitive for the supposed death of Patrick Mulligan. So he's wanted by the feds to be questioned. So Eddie's on the run. He's a fugitive. Venom once again leaves a drop of himself, or sheds a piece of himself. So they leave, they see this, they go like into this underground spot where there's a bunch of dogs in cages, like they're fighting dogs. And then they kick the ass of all 4 of those guys, and Venom eats all 4 of their heads. There's a trope in this film where Eddie just constantly loses his shoes. Like, that comes back several times in the film. There's also this unresolved plot line that will never be resolved because the universe is dead. There's this mysterious person standing in a dark room looking at all these cameras, searching for Eddie Brock. And it's never revealed who this is. It's almost like the filmmakers kind of forgot about the storyline. Like, they had to have known this is Tom Hardy's last Venom movie. They had to have known that. They couldn't have been doing this for setup for another movie. So I think they just kind of forgot to answer that. Oh well. So they try to go to New York, because there's a judge there that Eddie might be able to blackmail to clear his name. Let's see, we also meet Dr. Teddy Payne. Yeah, her brother died, blah blah blah, so she's now working at Area 51, which is now being decommissioned by the government, but thankfully they still have an underground facility where they research symbiotes. Oh yeah, also Null, God of the Symbiotes, is in this film, briefly. He's not really the villain of the film. He's more of like the secondary setup villain. When I was looking at his CGI character model, I'm just like, am I looking at Sephiroth? I also didn't realize he was voiced by Andy Serkis. The villain of this film is more so the xenophages. I guess you could say, like, who's the super villain of this film? The xenophage. Let's see. So, they need to get to New York. So they hitch a plane ride. They're attacked by the xenophage. They get thrown off the plane. Eddie loses his shoes again. The boots rather, that he took from the, you know, the people who were running that dogfight thing. Which absolute sickos who actually do that. So they're walking past the Nevada desert. They meet a family who I wonder what was even the point of them in the movie, but okay. They meet, what was his name, Milton? Played by Reese Ifans. Little to Eddie's knowledge, he was literally just in a universe where a variant of the man he just met was also pulled into. Because, you know, Reese also played Dr. Kurt Connors, or the Lizard. So, yeah. And this is where the pacing of the film is really strange. We knew that this would be the last Venom movie. You would think they would go out with a big bang. It would be something really spectacle. But no, for a good third of the film, it was just a really weird, slow pacing. Like, there was this entire sequence where Eddie is in the hippie van with his family. And then they start singing a song. I mean, there were touching moments from it, but I'm thinking, like, is this necessary for the film? Was this necessary? Anyways, they make it to LA. Eddie needs some money, so he tries his hands at slots. So he needs a suit to get in. So he first knocks out the bouncer, and then he knocks out this drunk guy who urinates on his foot. So then Eddie, all fresh with the tuxedo, goes into the casino. Venom takes over and just gambles all 20 of their dollars away. There was this dude, sitting next to him. I'm just like, is that Dreykov? Is that Dreykov, whose superpower is he's stinky? Danny DeVito looking guy. Anyway, so they coincidentally run into Mrs. Chen. They go up to her penthouse to, like, freshen up. And then there's this weird dance sequence. I'm not gonna lie. Venom dancing looks kind of gross. Is that bad for me to say? Like, his shiny black body. My god, that does not sound right. But literally, that's how he looked. His slimy, gooey, shiny, literally black body. It just looked kind of gross when it was dancing. And that's really all Mrs. Chen was in the movie for, just for a dance sequence. There was also no Anne in this movie. Anyways, other storylines like Mulligan being alive thanks to the bond with, what was the symbiote's name again? Lasher. Forgive me for not knowing all of the symbiote names. I know Agony was at the very end. I forget who... I forget the name of who, you know, the girl with the Christmas pendant was. You know, I obviously skipped over the chase sequence. And also the venomized horse. You know, there's little fun moments like those. You know what, let's change up the music real quick. We've been listening to this for like half an hour. Ugh, I got no choice but to sit through these ads, huh? Fucking ads. What else happened? So, the xenophages, I think they just couldn't call them xenomorphs, because my mind keeps wanting to call them xenomorphs, thanks to the xeno part. So the end of the film, or, you know, the final third portion of the film, I gotta say, it was a big CGI circus. And I gotta say, too, like, yo, props to the choreography, because, you know, a lot of the spectacles were added in afterwards. So I can't imagine that was really too easy to film or act. You know, you're riding around in a motorcycle, running around in a big empty base, pretending like there's big monsters chasing you, and then pretending you turn into a big monster yourself. I can't imagine that's too easy to act. So yeah, kudos to the actors for being able to do all that, and then all the CGI gets added in afterwards. I didn't even mention yet. The main point of the film, you know, the Codex to free Null from his prison so he can basically destroy the universe. The Codex is coincidentally with Venom, and the Codex is activated when one of them dies and then the other gets brought back to life, thus creating a symbiosis. It's like, oh yeah, Eddie did die in the first film and then Venom brought him back. And the Codex is only visible to the xenophages when Venom fully transforms. So they realize this. The attacks are not going to stop until either the Codex is destroyed or they get the Codex. The way to destroy the Codex is for one of the two to permanently die, either Eddie or Venom. So Venom sacrifices himself for like the 10th time to save Eddie. So yeah, Venom absorbs all of the xenophages into his body, and then he gets sprayed with acid, dissolving all of them. I didn't even really mention Strickland's character. Like, he's in this film. We got a Baron Mordo variant. Cool. Well, he died, so doesn't really matter. So yeah, it seems like Venom is dead. Eddie's quote-unquote crimes have been expunged. Eddie makes it to New York, seeing the Statue of Liberty for Venom. Well, there is one post-credit scene, and it's showing that poor bartender guy rising up from the rubble that is left over after the big alien fight. Like, poor guy. They just completely forgot about him. So I'm thinking like, well, if we ever see Tom Hardy's Venom character face off against Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, how's that going to work? The way I think of it is, well, they technically did not retcon that little droplet of Venom in the MCU. They did not retcon that, so a piece of Venom is still out there. And there was also a tease of Null becoming a big bad, like a Thanos-level villain in the future, which we know is never going to happen, because the universe is dead. So that teasing led to nowhere. But we know Null can be a multiversal villain. So what if the Avengers or Tom Holland's Spider-Man, it's set up as a villain for them? Well, you have to keep in mind that these movies were made by Sony, not Kevin Feige. And I don't think Feige will allow anything outside of his MCU to be a major plot point. So there's no way Feige will use Null from the Sony universe as one of the main villains in not only a Spider-Man villain, but like an entire phase, an entire Marvel phase. So I hope to see Tom Hardy back as Venom someday, as Eddie, I should say, as well as Venom. I kind of wish that they didn't make Venom as silly as they did. This is supposed to be Spider-Man evil supervillain Venom, right? He's not supposed to have neon lights around his neck. He's not supposed to be dancing with an Asian lady in a red dress. Right? Like, this is supposed to be intimidating, scary Venom. And yet, that's not exactly what we got. And the fact that we got 3 solo Venom movies, like, we actually got a trilogy of this character having his own solo films. What kind of timeline are we living in? Oh yeah, I did also get a shiny Tangela in Pokemon Go today. Unless I'm forgetting something else to talk about for Venom. Oh yeah, there was also one line in this film where it's like, wow, that's a little like poor choice of wording, but then again, how else are you gonna say it? So when the scientists were talking to Mulligan's character with, I think it's Lasher, the green symbiote, he told them like who Null is looking for, who has the codex, the black one. It's like, oh, that's a little poor choice of phrasing. But like, how are you supposed to, explain it differently, right? Out of all the symbiotes that we have seen so far, Venom is literally a black one. You know, he's not red like Carnage. He's not green like Lasher. He's not purple like Agony. He is literally black. He's not gray like Riot. He is literally black. I still feel like, ooh, that's kind of a poor way to phrase it. Like, he's looking for the black one. Ugh. Yeah, there you go. Venom, The Last Dance. You know, the ending credits were at least cool. You know, we had a bunch of, like, CGI mock-ups of what Venom would look like with other animals. We got to see Venom with a CGI Venom as a penguin, an elephant, a whale. You know, those are pretty cool. Probably the closest we're ever going to see to a Venomized live action any of those animals. So, what did you guys think of Venom: The Last Dance? Let me know down below. Nobody's gonna watch up to this point. Well, it's okay. So, like I said, I also, aside from watching Venom, I did not get a chance yet to watch Creature Commandos Episode 3. Gonna watch that for next time. So, I still have The Boys and Oshinoko to talk about in a moment. Let's wait for that friend of mine to show up. Not a single shiny Furfrou today. You know, I also counted how many eggs I'm at so far. And, you know, that was not updated for a few hours at this point. So, I am beyond, like, 2,000 eggs. Let's see, I can do the quick math in my head. Not in my head, but I know the numbers in my head to calculate. So beforehand, I hatched a total of 64 boxes, so 64 times 30. That is 1920. That's how many I had in Pokemon Bank, but then I ran out of space, so I transferred them to Pokemon Home. I have 1,920 Furfrous in my Pokemon Home, and in my game right now, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 complete boxes. 7 completely hatched boxes. So 64 plus 7. 71. 71 times 30. 2,130. That's how many eggs I have hatched for 10 shiny Furfrous. Or in the attempts, in the process of getting 10 Furfrous. I still don't have all 10 yet. I still only have 7. What other song can I play? Wow, 13 minutes listening to this already. So I did also check my Switch. I checked my Scarlet and Violet games on several profiles on my Switch. I have a total of 6 profiles ready to catch that shiny Rayquaza event happening in a week. And I think what I'm going to do for the first time in a very long time is purposely catch a shiny in not a Pokeball. And I'm not counting the, Safari event in Pokemon Go with the Safari balls. Because, well, it's frankly a free shiny Rayquaza you can catch in any ball you want. I don't have to hunt it. It's a free one that you can catch in whatever ball you want. It's not like a mystery gift where it comes in a Cherish Ball or whatever ball it will come in. No, this is a free shiny that you can choose what ball to catch it in. And I'm not gonna lie, one in a luxury ball would be nice. Then again, a Beast Ball one would be cool too, given how hard that would be to actually make happen legitimately. I don't know, the fact that I can get 6 of them, I think I can spare 2 of them being caught in just a different ball. I can do that. Four free shiny Rayquazas out of 6 being in regular Pokeballs. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good enough. So I was actually thinking about adding Arcane to the big-ass list of shows I'm currently watching, but then it's like, I want to watch it. I heard it's really good, and that you don't need any League of Legends knowledge to watch it. I'm just thinking, like, I already have so much to watch. I currently have... Let's see, I currently have Creature Commandos. I currently have... let's see, Creature Commandos, The Boys, Oshinoko, and then soon What If and Squid Game are coming out. That's a lot of shows to watch. No wonder I didn't watch The Boys for 5.5 years. Anyways, are you here? You said shiny, which there wasn't one yet. Are you here? Can I talk about The Boys yet, or do you need a moment? Are you off work yet? It's not 10:30 just yet. Oh, the stream crashed for you? Oh. Alright, start. Okay, now that I have his permission, let me start talking about The Boys Episode 2. Alright, the end. Alright, up next, we got Oshinoko to talk about. So, The Boys Episode 2, Huey and Butcher, they take Translucent, who is still alive, and then they meet Frenchie. So now they have to devise a plan to kill. Now they have to devise a plan to kill Translucent with his, diamond hard skin. I'm thinking, can't you just drown him? Like, wouldn't drowning work? Can you not just tie him up, attach a couple of cinder blocks to him, and then just throw him into the water and then drown him? Can't that work? He's not the deep. Well, I'll get to their killing idea in a moment. I also want to mention that I'm starting to understand references. I'm starting to understand the Mortal Kombat 1 intro references now that I'm watching the show. Because Homelander will find his body. Can't they just duct tape his mouth so he can't scream, "Homelander, help, here I am"? Or can't they just knock him unconscious and then just drown him? Why didn't they just do that? Just have him unconscious and just put his head into a bathtub. Because Homelander will find his body, he can see through walls. Not in this case, I guess, laced with lead? I only have Superman powers to go off of. So, it seems like something stops Homelander from seeing through walls. I don't know. Anyway, shut the fuck up, let me talk. So, as I was trying to say, I'm starting to understand some of the Mortal Kombat 1 references, like their water balloons filled with blood and meat. That line was said in this episode, but to my surprise, it wasn't Homelander who said that, like in the game. It was actually Translucent who said that. So, in the game, Homelander was referencing Translucent's line. Unless Homelander says it again later in the show. There was also another reference that I understood. What was it again? Wait, what was it again? I remember there was another line. Oh yeah, it was the line where he was, I think, with Madeline. What was her name? The lady who was pumping her breast milk. Because he said something like, "Hold your kid, because you never know what might happen." That line was in Mortal Kombat 1, and he said that to, of all people, Omni-Man. So Homelander's got balls to say that to Omni-Man. And yes, the milk. I think I understand the reference to the milk now. Because I didn't watch the show yet, his obsession with milk in Mortal Kombat 1, I didn't know what that meant. I think I know what the milk means now. Because later in the episode, when Starlight shows back up to Vought HQ, she sees Homelander just staring at a portrait of himself. But turns out he's not staring at that. He's using his X-ray vision to see through the walls and sees Madeline pumping. And ooh, he wants a taste of that. He wants to know the flavor that comes off of those milkers. I'm gonna ignore that comment you said. I'm not even gonna read out the comment that you said saying Homelander's milking stream went. I'm not even gonna read that out loud. Let's see, the rest of this episode. So, they're having trouble killing Translucent. Huey tries to be nice to him, but then, Translucent's just a douchebag. Jimmy here and Homelander collab. So then we get Frenchie. He, does some lore dumping, some exposition about himself. Maybe I'm biased, or maybe it just actually was done better. I felt more for Frenchie telling his backstory than I did for Fatima. Fatima telling her backstory, I didn't feel anything. Frenchie telling his backstory that, how many people he's killed, and that he even managed to make himself feel sympathetic. Like, there was this really, really pretty girl once. She was my first ever kill. I never forgot her. She's the one I think about the most because she's my first kill. Every single person I've ever killed, I bring with me, almost like scars. I felt more for that than I did for Fatima's story. So anyways, Frenchie gets inspired. He finds a way to potentially kill Translucent. He gets inspired by watching a turtle documentary on the TV. And I'll give him points. I never thought about it that way. I always thought about drowning. Because even watching Luke Cage, because his whole gimmick is having bulletproof skin, nothing can pierce that skin of his, I thought, can't he just be drowned? Can't he just be killed by drowning? So, Frenchie comes up with the idea, like, all you have, Translucent, is diamond hard skin. You are impenetrable from the outside, but on the inside, you are soft and squishy like the rest of us. So, what if we attacked you from the inside? What did we do? We shoved an explosive up your ass. Like, they literally slid a bomb up his butt cheeks. I'm just like, yep, that'll work. That definitely would work. Like, even if his diamond hard skin didn't shatter and blow to pieces with the explosion, his insides would still be messed up. His insides would still be completely done if that bomb went off. So, yeah, that would do it. An explosive from the inside, yeah, that would do it. I mean, isn't it kind of just the Thanos idea? You can't exactly pierce Thanos with a bullet. So, if you had Ant-Man shrink down, enter, and then grow into Giant Man, isn't that kind of the same thing? So, obviously, I'm skipping over a whole bunch of plot points. Like, there was one scene where Starlight saved this girl from two guys doing you-know-what. She gets caught on camera, she's not wearing her suit, and then, Ginny. I know her as Ginny from Fear the Walking Dead. I forget her character's name in this show. She shows up and scolds her, like, what are you doing? You never, ever get caught on camera. You always get the victim's name. Blah, blah, blah. Like, superheroes in this world are more corporate. They have to do, quote unquote, they have to do things by the legal way. Yeah, right. And, it's... What I found stupid was the whole secret identity thing. Because Starlight doesn't wear a mask to cover her face. Only when she's caught on camera, from a faraway angle where her face can barely be seen, only because she's caught on camera without her suit on, do people recognize her? Like, really? She doesn't even go the Clark Kent route to wear something like glasses to cover up her face and blend in. Her costume covers everything except for the most recognizable part, like her face. This be like Hannah Montana. Yeah, but Hannah Montana, at least the wig actually does transform, right? The wig actually, like the different hair, really does change someone's appearance. But this, she just has on different clothes. And then she's suddenly recognized in her regular clothes, her regular casual clothes. Online, people are saying, like, oh my god, I recognize her. That's Annie January. I went to school with her. Seriously? Really? You didn't recognize her without the costume? Or you didn't recognize her with the costume? Let me tell you, if one of my closest friends just put on a costume without covering their face, I think I would recognize them right away. And let's say not someone I'm close with, not someone who I know the details of their face. Let's say someone I went to elementary school with, who, I'm not friends with, but I know what they look like. If someone I knew from back then threw on a costume and became big news, I'm pretty sure I would recognize, like, wait a second, I know this person. They're not about to take off that costume, wear regular clothes, and be like, oh my god, I recognize him now. I know who he is. How did I not recognize him before? Seriously? Come on now. Like, come on. That was some, like, stupid writing, I'm not gonna lie. Really? People didn't recognize her until her casual clothes? I just had to nitpick that. That was just a stupid moment. So yeah, and then glossing over the moment where Homelander wants that milk. I can't wait to see how that scene plays out. Now that I know what's coming, I can't wait to see when that's, resolved. I wonder who Homelander is. Now, he did say that. He did mention that he gave up on his secret identity long ago. So he's just Homelander. Would it be cool to learn who Homelander's real name is? Sure. But, he said himself he abandoned that, so... To my concern, there is no identity. There is no secret identity to Homelander. He's just Homelander. He will say in the show, show's too much. Huh? Whether it's gore or other things. Oh, you mean gore? The one thing that From was lacking? Well, actually, From was lacking a bunch of things. Pacing, subtitles, a budget. So, let's get to the end of the episode. There was also this moment where Homelander goes down to, like, not HR. Not HR, but, that place where they could try to scan the country to see where people are. Like, they're trying to track down where Translucent is. Homelander goes down, and he's just like, no, you don't answer to Madeline. You answer to me right now. I'm Homelander. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I think there was a line like that in Mortal Kombat as well. Though that one's not hard to believe. So he goes searching around the area for where Translucent is. He gets thrown off the trail by exploding the old warehouse. Oh, really? Really? We shall see about that statement you just made. I think the level of gore in this show will be too much for you? Really? Really? We shall see. You know what? I think the level of gore in The Walking Dead is too much for you. Prove me wrong by watching the show. You won't. I know you won't. Season 4? Let me Uno reverse you real quick. Season 4 and 5 of The Walking Dead. that one episode will be way too much for you? Is it by chance the episode titled Hero-gasm? I heard things about that episode. If not, then I don't know what episode you're talking about. Nah. The gorier, the more disturbing, the better. I want to be so disturbed, I'm kept up at night. That's what I want. That's what I hoped From would be. You know, when I see some excellent gore moments in From, I'm just gonna think of that Simpsons meme, smacking the back of the head, and I'm just gonna be thinking, From, that's how you do gore. Okay, anyway, so the ending of the episode. Yeah, Homelander goes searching around, but then he's thrown off the trail. Huey is left alone to be with Translucent. He has the detonator. He has a detonator that'll set off his ass bomb. However, he's on the fence, you know? If he does this, there's no going back. If he kills one of the 7, and the rest of the 7 finds out, he will be dead in a heartbeat. His life will be over if he actually kills Translucent. Or Translucent, like, he can take up Translucent's deal. Like, you can still walk away from this. You can still go back to your life. You could be known as the guy who saved Translucent's life. I didn't trust a word Translucent said for a moment. There's absolutely no reason Translucent wouldn't just go straight to Homelander and rat him out like, okay, now I'm outside. Homelander, I'm over here. That guy right there. He's the one who got me. So anyways, for a second Huey thinks of actually taking the deal, like going back to his life, but in doing so would never get justice for Robin. He constantly looks over at this dirty poster that's of a baby and it's like, keep your hands clean. And what does he do? He detonates the ass bomb and he kills Translucent. And then the episode ends. But I don't know if that's real. I'm thinking, like, this is before I watch episode 3, I don't know if he really did it. Because, literally in the first episode, we saw scenes that didn't actually happen with Huey. We saw Huey in scenes doing some unhinged, like, things. Well, not really unhinged. Doing some impulsive things. And then it turns out it was just in his mind. He was just imagining it. That's just what he wants to do. And we all do. We all have done that. You know? You think in my mind, I don't sometimes wish I could just pull out I could just pull out a Glock in front of certain customers' faces, point the barrel between their eyes? You think I don't want to do that sometimes? So I don't know if he actually killed Translucent. Also because, well, Translucent's supposedly a pretty big character, and to kill him off only in episode 2. So I don't know if he actually did it. Maybe that's just his impulsive, thoughts, and he didn't actually do it. Maybe the ending was just a misdirect, right? Like, you're led to believe he killed Translucent, but he didn't actually. That was just a thought about what he wanted to do in his mind. So we'll see. We'll see if Translucent actually died or not, or if that was just an impulsive thought that he wanted to do, but did not do. Anything else I missed from episode 2? Oh, yes. Yes, the blackmail. When Madeline was talking to that other senator guy, and then, it seemed like she was about to, she was about to get her cheeks clapped by him, but then, it turned into this, like, shape-shifting fat guy. Oh my god. What can I even say about that? I don't know, man. Like, I know you're blindfolded and you're chained down, you're tied down, but like, you don't suddenly feel the weight on top of you changing from like a woman to a very fat guy. And like, you only have one hole to go into, So like, you didn't feel a scrotum slapping on your abdomen when he was going up and down? Like, you didn't feel that? Unless you're telling me you're just that long that he didn't go low enough for you to feel that. I don't know. I'm not in that position. God forbid I ever be in that position. I don't want to be in that position, please. So, I don't want to know for myself how hard it was to tell the difference. And if I'm ever in that position, well, I'm throwing myself off a building the next day. I will not live with that. Imagine, though? I would not like to imagine. No, thank you. You can imagine all you want. I'm good. You imagine all you want. Why'd you say queso? Why'd you say imagine, though, and then say queso? Oh, the disrespect towards queso. Unless you're talking about him winning Content Creator of the Year. I really can't wait to see what the milk scene is like. All this time of build-up, and now I know what's coming. I'm very curious what the milk scene is gonna be like. I was indeed not referring to that. You're banned. You're banned. So, let's see. I'm trying to think, like, was there anything else I missed in this episode? Oh, yeah, there was also the A-Train cancer patient scene. That was cringe. Oh, that was hard to watch. That was funny and hard to watch. It's like, I asked for translucent. That was my one make-a-wish, and I wished for translucent. A-Train's just like, well, you got me. And hey, when you're older, I will teach you how to run as fast as I can. Really? You'll teach me how to outrun cancer? There was also the moment like, I'm sure translucent can show up next week. Doctor's just shaking his head like, no, not next week. I don't know if that was actually a real life Make-A-Wish kid, or if that was an actor. Like, did a real life Make-A-Wish kids wish be I want to be on a TV show? Because if that's the case, then, you know, how nice of the boys to make that kid's dream come true. You know, I'm also wondering, I know I'm only 2 episodes in, why is the show called The Boys? You know, it's not like the group's name is The Boys, they're known as The Seven. So I'm thinking, like, why is this show called The Boys? It's like, why is the show called From? Why is this show called The Boys? I don't know, maybe I'll find out later on. Oh, by the way, I just hatched Shiny Furfrou number 8. So I now only need 2 more. Yes! What the fuck? Because all of the girls transformed to quesos? What is this hate boner you have for queso? Anything else I missed from episode 2? There was that small scene between Starlight and Deep. They're going on a mission together. It doesn't really matter. Nothing really happened. No? Nothing else I missed from the episode? Let's see, what else can I play? Yeah, this hunt has already taken longer than the Xerneas hunt without a shiny charm. Oh my god, I can't escape the ads tonight. Alright, let's move on to Oshinoko, shall we? Episode 2 of Season 2. This episode actually cuts back a bit. Actually, you know, flashes back and shows us the events leading up to the first episode a bit. I gotta say, like, I want to make a slight correction to what I said about the first episode. Because thanks to this episode, I'm not even sure now. Now I'm not even sure if Aqua and Akane are really together. I know that's not really Aqua's thing, you know? He doesn't care about anything aside from finding out the truth of Ai's death. So, I will admit, I was a little bit surprised to hear that in episode 1 they had really become a couple, quote unquote. I thought, like, really? And then Aqua said, like, yeah, just for a couple weeks. I agreed to this for a couple weeks. And I'm just like, okay, that makes more sense. So, and I kind of forgot too, like, yeah, they did say they had an off-camera, like, crew members arrangement. Like, they agreed. Like, oh, the fans are gonna go crazy if they've realized, like, the two actors aren't really together. So I kind of forgot about that too. So now I'm not too sure if they're actually together or not. Akane still acts like they are. Aqua does not. Anyway, so we flash a little bit back to all of them showing up for rehearsals, all of them, like, introducing themselves to the rest of the castmates. We also get, you know, the flashback to, what was this character's name? Amiibo? What was her name? The writer for Tokyo Blade, the original author. And her disregard for the play script. Like, I want the whole script rewritten. And I gotta say, too, poor scriptwriter guy. Oh, he was thrown under the bus so much in this episode. And, you know, by the end of the episode, around the end, they made a really good point that the writers, they get a lot of trash. If the writing is good, then all the praise goes to the source material. If the writing's bad, then, you know, you're basically crucified as a writer. And also, like, the writing, they also made a great point, too. Writing a story for certain medias, be it a movie, a show, a play, is not easy. Because there are several levels of writing. You have the first draft, and then it gets sent to another person to fact check it, and then make some adjustments, and then vice versa, and then, like, keeps going higher and higher, being rewritten, until finally you have a finished script that gets approved by the original author. So yeah, writing is really hard, especially if you're a playwright or a screenwriter and you have to write with the thought of, like, what the author originally intended. So yeah, there's a lot of, like, rewriting of the script going on to the point, like, well, they opened the play in 20 days. They kind of don't have a lot of time to rewrite the entire goddamn script and then rehearse it enough to actually perform. So they're on a pretty tight schedule. Let's say they finish writing the script in, like, a week. That is still just under 2 weeks left for rehearsals alone. And just like the first episode established, what about all of the, like, scheduling conflicts with the cast members? Not all of them are going to be able to show up to rehearse at the same time. And the actual actors themselves, they don't have a script to act off of. So they can't even prepare ahead of time, even if they wanted to. There's not a lot that actually happened in this episode, because it's mostly just a little bit of flashback to get you up to how we got to this point right now. on the shiny bacon, yes. And we've already taken longer to get the shiny bacon with the shiny charm than it did to get the full odds shiny tree. By the way, you missed it. Just a couple minutes ago, I hatched my 8th shiny Furfrou. So I only need 2 more. Okay, let's see. By the end of the episode, there's a really cute screen where Akane is like, we finally have time. How about a date? Because Aqua just goes on like how he has no interest in plays. You know, for the acting being exaggerated and then the constantly shifting background props making it look kind of cheap. Which I can understand. You know, Broadway plays are just performance plays. Not necessarily my thing either, but, you know, I can appreciate the work that went into it if I ever watch one. Or the rare occasions I do watch one. Like how I watched a Footloose musical on that cruise a year ago. So, Akane seems to have dragged Aqua to go see a stage play. And I gotta say, without Mephisto playing, I couldn't even tell when the episode was ending. I think the ending song's called Burning. I didn't even realize Burning was playing, like signifying the end of the episode. Without Mephisto, it just doesn't hit as hard. Because there were moments where, goddamn, Mephisto just hit. You know, the opening intro's not bad. It's starting to grow on me, but, you know, it's no idol. Once again, Ruby wasn't in this episode, like, at all. So I wonder where she's at. I don't know how the pacing for the season's gonna go. I wonder if they're gonna do, like, half the season's gonna focus on Aqua with this play, and then the other half is gonna focus on Ruby with the idol thing. I don't know, because we haven't really seen Ruby at all the first 2 episodes. So I'm curious, like, where's she at? Oh, there you go, episode 2. Not a lot to talk about. Alright, so tonight we talked about Venom, talked about the boys, talked about Oshinoko. Like I said, couldn't watch Creature Commandos yet, so that'll be next time. Yo, no shame in feeding. Did you catch the Game Awards last night? If he's still here. He's not replying, so I don't think he's here anymore. You know, so far for the boys, I'm not really liking a lot of the characters, and that's intentional because a lot of the characters are assholes. I'm not really liking A-Train so far. I'm not really liking the Deep so far. Isn't that the point, though? They're supposed to be douchebag characters. You're supposed to not like them. I like Homelander so far. I know he's unhinged. Yeah, I like that. You know, we haven't really met A-Train really much yet. All we saw was him laugh about completely disintegrating Robin. And then that hilarious Make-A-Wish incident. Yeah, A-Train just seems like a douche to me. So does the Deep. Homelander being unhinged, that's what makes him fun. And, well, Starlight is just a regular character. I wonder if Starlight's gonna stick to her morals throughout her time with the Seven, or is she going to be slowly corrupted and, you know, drunk with power like the rest of them are? Or is she going to stick to her roots? You know, I'm thinking, like, is she going to become Vic from the Penguin? You know, he was an innocent kid as well, and then he was completely corrupted by Oz. So I wonder, I'm curious how Starlight's character is going to evolve. Excuse me. Well, that's all I have to talk about tonight. Oh, you know I've been wearing this same shirt for like the past month. No, I'm kidding. It hasn't been that long. I think I wore this shirt for like 2 weeks now. Yeah, I do need to change my shirt. What else can I play? Oh my god, I thought I turned down sound thanks to the ads. You know, I wonder if I'll ever do the same thing again for another Legends game. Obviously, when Legends Arceus was coming out, well, that was the first Legends game, so we didn't have anything to base it off of. You know, we didn't know all the legendaries would be shiny locked in that game, though given Pokemon's track record, we probably should have guessed. But now we know. We know now. So that's why I'm hunting all of these for Legends ZA. I'm predicting all the legendaries will be shiny locked because they were in the only other Legends game. And if they're not, then whoopee, I'll hunt them again. Like, say we get a Legends game taking place in Johto. Well, am I gonna have to hunt all the birds and Mewtwo and the beasts in preparation? Maybe. I guess depends who's the quote-unquote box legendary. Because would it really be Suicune again? Pokemon Legends Suicune? You think Pokemon will have the balls to do a Pokemon Legends game and introduce a brand new legendary for the game? You know, instead of Legends Arceus or Legends, you know, Zygarde. Let's face it, Zygarde's the main legendary. You think they'll ever make a Legends game and give us a brand new legendary? Maybe. You never know with Pokemon, they do what they want. So yeah, like, obviously in the case of Legend ZA, aside from the legendaries being shiny locked, there was also the 9 that just aren't in any games yet. And we're probably not going to get that being the case again. Unless we move on to the next console, that is. But, you know, I'm thinking we're going to have more connectivity moving forward. You know what I mean? Then again, who's to say that the same thing can't happen again, right? Next console, we get another Pokemon storage app. We went from bank to home to, I don't know, Pokemon apartment complex. We're gonna get Pokemon Condo for the next Nintendo system. And, you know, who's to say that, like, that's gonna be connected to Pokemon Home? And what if they do the same thing again? Not every Pokemon is gonna be in every game, and then to the point there's only a couple left over. Though that's like a decade down the line, if that were to happen again. So yeah, probably if there is going to be another Legends game, I will probably have to preparation hunt like I am now. Like, if we get a Pokemon Legends game taking place in Unova, Pokemon Legends Kyurem, well, I have a pretty good reason to believe Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem will all be shiny locked. Right? Maybe the Swords of Justice as well, the Weather Genies. I don't know. I don't have anything in mind to play. Oh, I still need to go shower and wash my hair after this for the 3rd time today. Because like I said, I washed my hair this morning. After my haircut, I got it rinsed and shampooed and scrubbed. And now I gotta wash it a 3rd time today just to make sure all the little fragments of hair are truly gone before I go to bed. And, you know, change my shirt after I shower. I gotta go into the basement and grab one. And I don't say that because I keep my clothes in my basement. Like, you know, the clean laundry that are hanging in the basement to dry. You know, my dad, he has the nerve to say, like, to call me a good boy whenever I shower at night. So, I don't shower at night really that often. I rarely do it. Every now and then I'll do it. Only if I have time or if I'm really filthy and I need to shower. I mostly shower in the morning. You know, morning, I wake up, dinner's digested, so I need to poop in the morning, right? Right? We all do it. It's not weird. We all poop. So I need to sit on the throne in the morning, and then after I'm done my business, well, I hop in the shower and, you know, clean up back there. And I figured, well, if I'm already hopping in the shower just for that in the morning, I may as well wait till the morning to clean everything else. May as well wait until the morning to wash my hair, get rid of the bedhead, and clean up my greasy hair, cleaning up the remaining hair I have that is greasy. Right, so in my eyes, it just makes sense to save everything for the morning and do it all at once. My dad hates this, though. My dad's always like, how do you manage to sleep at night without, you know, cleaning off all the filth you've collected during the day? It's like, you know, he acts like I went dumpster diving before going to bed. Like I am absolutely irredeemably filthy and I must clean myself before going to sleep. Like, he hates the fact that I don't shower at night before bed. So every now and then, when I do shower at night before bed, he's like, good boy. That's a good boy. That's my son, showering before bed. So I guess the opposite is also the case, where I'm a bad son. I am naughty because I don't shower before going to sleep at night. You know, I haven't really spoken to my friends in a couple days. Mostly because I just have nothing to say. I got nothing to contribute to the conversation. So I just don't speak. You know, I'm the type of person who at a party would just be alone. Because I would just feel like I'm shoehorning myself into conversations. You know, all my friends have their own topics that they discuss together. And you know, it's topics that I just don't understand because I'm not really a part of it. So if I'm there, I'm just, you know, I'm just getting the participation award. So I'm definitely the type of guy who would just be alone in the corner at parties. If not willingly, then, you know, just by what the herd says. You know, there's a reason I don't get invited to parties. You know, now that I think about it, I don't know if I've ever actually been to, like, a genuine party before. Like, what you imagine when you picture a party, you know, you picture someone's house, lights hung up, slightly dimmed lighting, blasting music, chips, drinks on the table. A lot of commotion, a lot of talking, people having a good time. Yeah, like, you picture a typical party. I don't think I've ever actually been to one. Yeah, nobody invites me to parties. So, I was asked, do I just send likes on Hinge, or do I also add comments? Well, let me just say, yes, I only send a like. I don't add comments. Man, I'm told comments, if you do that, that'll boost your chances. I just feel so icky about doing it. It's just like, I don't know. Because I did that for the first time yesterday. The prompt, the question was, what is your, like, top fantasy world you would want to live in? And I already know how I replied was just wrong. The way I replied was, I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. And, wow, no surprise why I didn't get a response to that. Like, how am I supposed to say, like, I think it's no surprise. I would love to live in the Pokemon world, right? I don't think that's a surprise. So how do you say that on a dating app? You answer a question and say, I would love to live in the Pokemon world. My God, I am hopeless. Well, I'll do this until it hits midnight. So that's another half an hour. Well, it's okay. I don't have anything else to do besides shower. Now that my hair is short, it'll dry rather quickly. Man, I really don't like the fact that I have short hair. Now, I gotta style it again. I gotta actually push it up. Ugh. So much work. You know, my dad, he just kept going on and on about, like, look how good you looked during your sister's wedding. Look how nice your hair looked. It was short. It was styled. You know, it was all pushed up. It's like, yeah, no shit, Dad. It's like, I'm not doing that every single day. You know, I really am starting to think. Well, everybody in they mama, especially my mama, hates me with long hair. I actively just dislike having short hair thanks to how inconvenient it is. And, well, I'm already in the process of losing my hair anyways. So, why don't I just make it easy for all of us and I just shave it all off? I mean, really, what's the worst that'll happen, right? I get a couple eyes staring at me for a little bit and then nobody will care. All my friends and coworkers will see me bald, and then it's like, okay, well, cool, moving on. Took us a moment to take it in. Well, we took it in. Anyways. I got a package from China coming in and it's stuck at the airport or something. Sag. Yeah, look what Canada Post has done. Hasn't moved at all in a week or so. Look what Canada Post has done. Yeah, I get what you mean by not even Canada Post. Like, you know about the whole thing. Canada Post goes on strike, and then all other delivery companies, they say they're overworked, so they're slowing down. It's like, you can do that? Yeah, I guess everything is backlogged. There is that. Everything is backlogged. All the other delivery companies, FedEx, Purelator, DHL, they're all slowing down. They're still delivering, but they're slowing down. And it's especially bad because right now, well, it's the goddamn holidays. But it's like, wow, they can do that? Just like that, a company can do that. They can just be like, we're slowing down because that other company stopped. They can do that? Sucks because I moved in a week or so. Oh, move in a week or so. Oof. Oh, I hope your package doesn't require a signature. Can't you just change the shipping address if it's still stuck at the warehouse? Then again, I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, if McDonald's went on strike and then Burger King's like, we're slowing down businesses because of it. Honestly, it's like, you can do that? Really? Other companies can just slow down their production, their business, just because one of their, rival brands or whatnot that does the same thing is on strike? They can do that? I'd rather not mess with it so it doesn't get lost. Roommates here said they look out for it, so hopefully I can get someone next year. Get it sometime next year. Oh yeah, sometime next year. December 31st, 2025. Technically that's still sometime next year. It's probably because they get a huge influx that they aren't able... Wait, they aren't able to finish everything as fast. Yeah. I can get that they now have, like, probably 3 times as much work to do now. But I'm still thinking, like, you can announce that you're slowing down? Maybe it's the way it's phrased. Maybe if they announce it like, we are going to take our time to sort it out properly, maybe that would feel less strange than them saying we're slowing down our work because there's too much or whatever. It's just so people know and don't expect everything to be on time, especially because holiday season. Wow, Canada Post could not have chosen a better time to strike. You know what the root of the problem is? Money. It's always money. The root of the problem is always money. Workers aren't paid enough for how much they're actually doing, so they go on strike until corporate or whoever signs off that the workers will get more pay. With inflation being a bitch, you know who we can blame? Well, not exactly Biden, because that's in the US. In terms of Canada, we can totally blame Trudeau. They probably went on strike around this time, hopefully force an agreement sooner. There is that too. The growing pressures of the holidays. A lot more to be shipped around the holidays. You know, at least people these days have the luxury of at least getting an update. Also, government might be stepping in soon to make them go back to work. I mean, we just need to take a look at the SAG-AFTRA strike and see how that played out. One package just updated. Hopefully, all of them will update this weekend, and I'll have stuff next week. Is that cope I'm sensing? But yeah, like, at least these days people have the luxury of updates and knowing where their package is at. Imagine if this was like a century ago. We wouldn't have the internet. We wouldn't have the websites to put a tracking number into and saying your package is still at the warehouse. If this was a couple decades ago, we would still be like waiting for 3 months with no way of getting an update. Where's my package? 1924 Transformers go hard. Transformers, the movie side being in shambles. Well, not really in shambles, just questionable the direction they're going. At least Transformers 1 was good. It was, but, you know, I want to see the live-action stuff continue. We're approaching a decade since the storyline was left off. And, you know, Paramount doesn't have the balls to continue it. You know, so what the last night didn't do as good as you hoped. Don't be a bunch of pussies and just continue with the story. Don't know if it's ever going to get a sequel, though. It's very simple. Make a sequel literally just called Transformers 2. You can either make the second movie fully about the Cybertron war between Autobots and Decepticons, or the second movie can be the precursor to that. Fighting off the Quintessence, and then that leads to the Great War of Cybertron in Transformers 3. I mean, Hasbro is pulling out of the movie game, especially since a lot of their recent movies have been flops. What else has Hasbro made? I really only care about the Transformers stuff. I mean, we're still getting a G.I. Joe crossover, which, I know nothing of G.I. Joe. When that Transformers G.I. Joe crossover happens, I will only watch for the Transformers. I know nothing of G.I. Joe. When you collecting all the Marvel Bakugan crossover? Ah, yes, the Red Skull Bakugan. Because who doesn't want a Nazi Bakugan? You can try to get the unreleased stuff. Like what? Thor, Hulk, Red Hulk. Eh. But I collect the Bakugans. What am I gonna do with them? You know, it's not like me collecting amiibos, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just my boomer self talking here. It's a shame that the peak of Bakugan is long past us. I don't even know what's going on with the franchise anymore. They changed the color of the Chaos attribute. I don't know what's the deal with the new kind of Bakugan stuff. All I remember was Season 1, the toys back then, the story was peak. And then it just all went downhill. To the point, I think it stopped for a couple years, hearing nothing about it. And then out of nowhere, it just came back without the hype that it once had. Obviously, because older generation, they grew up, and then new generation doesn't include us. I think the Hulks went for 5k USD last time they were sold. The cardboard package back is also up for auction too. Ah yes, cardboard. Who doesn't love auctioning for cardboard, just like Pokemon cards? Let me see what other song I can play for the rest of tonight. Because we've been listening to this for like, 23 minutes. What can I play? I don't know, just whatever came to mind. Stupid ads. This song is still elite, and you know it is. Man, I tried to copy link. I almost hit report message. Wow, you're not kidding. 5,000 USD for the back of a cardboard? And it's not even in good condition either. Legacy ended in 2014-ish, and reboot happened around 2019. It's already been 10 years since it ended? Holy shit. No one's gonna buy that, though. At some point, someone may. Some lunatic collector may. Why is Hulk blue in this, by the way? Why is the picture of the Hulk blue? Oh, there's a quarter next to the picture as a comparison. Season 4, it started to fall off. I don't really remember anything past Season 1. All I remember is, you know, Vestroya about to merge with Earth. They defeated Naga, and then I don't remember much afterwards. You know, someday I would like to catch up on the peak of the Bakugan franchise, but it's not easy to find all the episodes these days. Then again, I haven't really tried. I got too many other shows to watch before I tune back into that. The episodes are all on YouTube. Are you sure about all? Some company got the rights for them and posted them on YouTube. All. I've watched through most of it. I know it's not Cartoon Power Up. Seasons 1 to 8? There was 8 seasons? How the same playlist... Wait, how does playlist by a different channel have the same number of videos? Oh, because it's about this... It has the same things in it. The 4 extra seasons probably has a reboot in it. Oh, hold on. Let me mute that. Because I've seen Cartoon Power-Up's channel before. Some of the titles are just clearly mislabeled. Like, it has the wrong episode. And the comments are always turned off, so you can't even mention to the creator, like, hey, this is the wrong episode for the wrong title. Huh, maybe there really was 168 episodes. 2 unavailable videos are hidden. I have some unreleased stuff that got cancelled at the end of 2010, so that's when they started canning stuff. Oh, it's already been that long? 2010 was almost 15 years ago. I'm old as fuck. 2010 was 15 years ago. Season 1 and 2 were really popular. Season 3 is when they started falling off and they ended with Season 4. This is what boomers do. This is what old people do. Reminisce on how good they had it back in their days. Kids nowadays, they have this new fancy stuff. They don't know how good we had it back then. You know, when we were kids, we were thinking like, we'll never grow up and say that. We'll never sound like our parents. Oh, wait till the newer generations grow up and go through it themselves. Whatever the new generations have nowadays, whatever their TikToks they're watching, they're gonna grow up and be like, we had it good back then. The kids these days, they don't know. You know, my dad did the exact same thing like last week when it came to singing Chinese karaoke. Like, how the hell am I supposed to know how to sing those? The cartoon for Legacy was semi-decent just because it was made by a Japanese company as an anime first, so it actually has plot. The Japanese stay winning on that side, on that front. You know, you don't really see a lot of that. Well, then again, all of the bad ones just get overshadowed by the good ones. You don't really see too many quote-unquote bad Japanese written stories. Occasionally, you'll see an example of a bad written story, maybe like Sword Art Online. Maybe like Pokemon Sword and Shield. This dude bought it. This dude has deep pockets. Akira the Collector. And then this person also put 2 Chaos Emeralds in the back as comparisons. Let me actually, wait a second. Let me look up what these actually look like. Hulk Bakugan. Some oil prince. I've talked to him before. Are you serious? You've talked to this person before? Look at you, making some big friends in the world. Not a ton of bad anime happen. You just aren't that deep into anime. No, I'm not. I only watch a couple that I'm interested in. Anyways, is this Hulk one the one with purple pants? Let me see. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, that's a cool detail. I think the Bakugan spheres you showed me actually, like, because it's red and green, has the Pyrus and Ventus attributes logo on it. That's kind of cool. I mean, it being Red Hulk and regular Hulk, isn't it just the same thing, just a different color? Is that essentially not what these are? You know, speaking of Red Hulk, someone let me know, because I genuinely just don't know. I didn't watch the show. I thought Red Hulk was a Hulk villain. So, why is Red Hulk one of the main characters in Hulk Agents of Smash? I never watched the show, so I don't know. I thought Red Hulk was a villain character to the Hulk. So why is Red Hulk in that show one of the ally characters? I don't know. I never watched that show. Because he's a part of the government? Is that it? Man, let me look up pictures for that show real quick. Because I swear I've just never seen this show. Yeah, I don't know all of these characters. There's Hulk, there's She-Hulk, there's Scar, Red Hulk. I don't know who that blue character is. That blue character kind of looks like Etraban. And you know, I'm still confused on the whole timeline with this universe. Is this show connected to Avengers Assemble, and isn't that connected to Ultimate Spider-Man? It's so confusing. I can't seem to find a decent enough wiki to tell me everything. And then wasn't there a Guardians of the Galaxy animated show? Well, I'll do this for 5 more minutes, and then at midnight, I'll call it for tonight. Yeah, this has officially taken longer than the hunt without a shiny charm. Let's play something else for the last few minutes. Oh my god, the stupid ads again. Anyways, we just had a lot of nerd talk earlier tonight. Yeah, I'm a nerd. Have you checked out Creature Commandos? For it being the first project in James Gunn's DCU? You know, maybe it was a good thing I wasn't able to watch episode 3 yet. Lines up with the episode number for The Boys and Oshinoko. I could be on episode 3 for everything. Just makes it a lot easier to remember. Because it was confusing for Agatha and Penguin, because the episode number was different. Considering 2 episodes of Agatha came out, and I think Penguin came out a week afterwards. And then there was also Daryl Dixon, Superman and Lois. It's like, oh, so many episode numbers to remember. Yo, do you know how Bakugan started? Did it start as a manga? How did it start? Like, what was the first medium for Bakugan? Was it a manga? Was it the anime show? Was it a card game? I think the toys came out after the show. I don't think he's here anymore. Because once again, at the time, because the 2 things I was into was Pokemon and Bakugan. I know this is a crazy idea, but I did have it. I would have loved to see Bakugan in any way join Smash. Can you imagine if Drago was a playable character? But he's too big! We got Ridley, didn't we? They can shrink him down. I don't know. I don't really have a problem for literally big characters being shrunken down as a playable character in Smash. This is just the first example that came to mind. I haven't played Xenoblade, but what if Metalface was shrunken down so he could be a playable character? I would not be mad. What if like other big characters, like actually in size, big characters got shrunken down? I mean, hell, they raised the size for Olimar, didn't they? And Kirby. Kirby's not supposed to be that big, nor Pichu. I'll do like 2 more resets, because we're about to hit midnight. Alright, I'll do this last reset for tonight. Nope, no shiny Yveltal for tonight. Well, no shiny Yveltal, but I did get my 8th shiny Furfuro, so that's something. Alright, I'm gonna call this here for tonight. We'll continue this next time. Yveltal with shiny charm has officially taken longer than Xerneas without shiny charm. What a world. Okay, I'm gonna call it for tonight. Thanks for watching, see you guys next time, and goodbye.